Scottails, oh. Well, hi everybody, and welcome to another edition of Scottails. My name is Scott Hostetler, and today you will see a feat never before attempted in the Scottail studios. I will feature not one, not two, but three Scottails for your dining and dancing pleasure. The Classic Sidecar. Now, the original sidecar's origin has been disputed. London claims it, and so does the Ritz. Both of it right after World War I in the 1920s, and it was named after an American captain who used to have that attachment on the side of his motorcycle. No, that's not the captain. That's the two fat ladies from the BBC TV show. The sidecar is basically cognac, orange liqueur, and lemon juice. The proportions and types of ingredients vary. The recipes I'm going to show you today are from David Lebovitz's Drinking French from 2019. Then we're going to go all the way back to the Savoy Hotel, the Savoy cocktail book in the 1930s. Then even a little farther back to the original Old Mr. Boston Deluxe official bartender's guide in the early 1930s. But speaking of motorcycles, these three big hairy bikers walk into a diner and they look around. They see this little guy sitting at the counter eating his lunch. Well, they strut up to him and they say, "Hey, what are you eating?" And he reaches down, they grab the guy's burger and they just chew it up and throw it away. The little guy sits there, doesn't say a word. The second biker says, "Well, what are you drinking here, buddy?" And he takes a sip of his strawberry shake and he goes, "Oh, that's awful," and he throws it down. They all laugh and laugh and laugh. Then the other guy says, "Oh, that's a cute little salad you got there," and he put his cigarette out in it. The little guy says nothing. He just gets up and pays his check and walks out. Well, the bikers are yelling and screaming and they're laughing away, and they say to the waitress, "You know, that guy's not much of a man, is he?" And then the waitress says, "Well, I don't think he's much of a driver either, because he just ran his big rig over 3 motorcycles in the parking lot." Well, the first recipe we're going to look at is from David Lebovitz's Drinking French. Now, the Drinking French recipe starts with 1.5 ounces of cognac. And we're using Pierre Ferrand cognac. Remember, if I mispronounce a French word, you get to take a drink, which is going to be very nice for you. There's 1.5 cognac. Then it takes 3/4 of an ounce of Cointreau. Now, we know Cointreau is an orange liqueur that comes from France also, and it is lovely. We use it in a lot of drinks, and there's about 3/4, and also 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. So 3/4 of an ounce, not all the way to the top. Well done. Then I like this because it's kind of sweeter. David Lebovitz uses a little bit of simple syrup, 2 tablespoons. So I'm going to say that is about 2 tablespoons. We add in our ice, which has been picked up with freshly washed hands. And we're going to shake, shake, shake until the cows come home. Remember, about 15 seconds. That's loud. So, then we pour our magic elixir into our lovely coupe glass. Shall we give it a go?
Yes!
That's going to be hard to beat. What you're looking for here is the perfect balance between sweet and sour, and I think that has got it going for it. Well, I was enjoying a ride on a motorcycle when I got stuck behind this little girl on a horse. And I couldn't get around her, no matter how I yelled, I waved, I just couldn't get around her. So I decided, with the heck with it, I'm getting off this carousel. Boom, boom, thank you. The next version we're going to do is the Savoy version from the reprinted Savoy in the 1930s London, and it goes with 2 ounces of brandy. You're a fine girl, what a good wife you would be. Now, brandy, what's the difference between brandy and cognac? Well, all cognac is brandy, but not all brandy is cognac. It's just like champagne and just like tequila. It depends on where it comes from, and it has to come from the Cognac region of France. So you have 2 ounces of brandy, excuse me. Then we have 1 ounce of Cointreau, our favorite orange liqueur. 1 ounce goes right in there, just like that. Then, I think we said lemon juice? Sure, why not? 1 ounce of lemon juice. No simple syrup like David Lebovitz says in his recipe. All right. Ice. Ice, ice, baby. And then we shake. You know, I read where a guy fell off a motorcycle. He had brain damage and 2 broken arms. Now, I don't know why anybody would put a guy on a motorcycle in that condition. I thought that was funny. Ready? Now, this is the Savoy London cocktail book. You'll see it's about the same color because it's a little bit murkier. But let's give it a little taste, shall we?
Yes!
Not as sweet, but still good. There's a nice balance between sweet and sour. I think that one is okay also. Next up is a recipe for Old Mr. Boston's Deluxe Official Bartender's Guide. When my friend Tom McChurch was just a lad, he saved his nickels and dimes and he went to the auction with his dad. And he bid on a box of books. And he won the bid for 25 cents, a whole box of books. Well, in that box was a copy of the Old Mr. Boston's Deluxe Official Bartender's Guide. And he has now given that to me. But also hidden in that box was a pair of black ladies' high-button shoes. And there was a man at the auction who saw it and said, tell me, son, what do you want for those shoes? Tom said, $20. So he sold those shoes for 20 bucks, which was a nice little profit of 25 cents in 1955. Now, the Old Mr. Boston Deluxe Official Bartender's Guide starts off with 2 ounces of brandy. Like the Savoy. I guess in the 30s, they preferred brandy over cognac. 2 ounces of brandy. Then, as the orange sweetener, they used triple sec. Now, triple sec is it's cheaper than cognac, and it's not quite as smooth and not quite as strong, but it's still pretty dang tasty in this cocktail. And then they use the juice of half a lemon, which comes out to be about 3/4 of a ounce of fresh lemon juice. Remember, we always use fresh juice, right? Okay. Now, add the ice because we want this drink to chill properly. Then we shake. You know, there are drunk bikers and there are old bikers, but there are no old drunk bikers. So don't drink and drive. 15 seconds. Ta-da. Now this is the Old Mr. Boston Deluxe Official Bartender's Guide from the 1930s. How do you tell these apart? Well, we're going to tell them apart by taste. Are you ready? Let's give this one a taste.
Yes!
Well, that tastes pretty good. Well, there you have it. The 3 sidecars, each one different, but each one very nice in its balance of sweet and sour. The David Lebovitz, the Old Mr. Boston Deluxe Official Bartender's Guide, and the Savoy Cocktail Book. Thanks for watching, and remember, drink up, because it's almost closing time somewhere.